Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Snitch and I'm a Disney YouTuber. You might remember me from the Disneyland Myths and Legends episode of Cartoon Conspiracy. My whole life revolves around Disney cartoons, so I'm pretty excited to break down this theory with all of you. Beauty and the Beast is regarded as one of Disney's most romantic love stories. It's the tale of a quirky bookworm who falls in love with a beast despite his ferocious appearance. It's a classic don't judge a book by its cover story where an ugly duckling finds love with a beautiful woman after learning how to be a gentleman. But what if the Beast never actually changed, but Belle did? Does Belle from Beauty and the Beast have Stockholm Syndrome? The theory that Belle has Stockholm Syndrome has been around since Beauty and the Beast was released in 1991. Stockholm Syndrome is defined as a psychological phenomenon where hostages start to develop positive feelings for their captors. Sometimes they even start identifying and falling in love. Does this sound strikingly similar to the story of a young woman held captive by an enraged beast, but who ends up falling in love with said beast despite his abusive tendencies? The answer is yes. In the beginning of the film, Belle willingly becomes the Beast's prisoner in order to save her father's life. But the fact that it was her idea in the first place has no effect on how the Beast treats her. He's threatening, demanding, and has a temper that you don't want to mess with. Initially, the Beast keeps Belle in a dungeon, but later she's upgraded to a regular bedroom. But still, she's denied food unless she agrees to dine with the Beast. If she doesn't, she starves. No, literally, the Beast says he'll starve her.
Then go ahead and starve!
Finally, Belle decides to try to escape from the castle, and at the point that she does, we actually have no idea how long she's been held captive. While she is wearing the same dress she arrived in, and hasn't seemed to explore the castle that much so far, the weather outside is strikingly different than the day she first arrived at the Beast Castle. The day that Belle left town to try to save her father, it was very warm and sunny. Later, when Maurice goes to the bar to try to convince the townspeople to help him rescue Belle, we can see that it's beginning to snow. And finally, as Belle tries to run away from the castle, we can see that there's a full-blown snowstorm going on, like a middle-of-winter level snowstorm. So it's safe to assume that at this point, Belle's been held captive for months. This is important because after the Beast rescues Belle from the wolves in the forest, she willingly agrees to go back to the castle with him, the first inkling of Stockholm Syndrome. She's had plenty of time to develop the syndrome, having been held captive for months. Unfortunately, when they return to the castle, the Beast continues to mistreat Belle, screaming at her for running away and blaming her for his resulted injuries. And then comes the second hint of Stockholm Syndrome, Belle thanking the Beast for saving her life. A crucial aspect of Stockholm Syndrome is that captives often interpret a lack of abuse for kindness, even if that act is simply not killing them or letting them die. So in this part of the movie, Belle is essentially saying, "Thanks so much, Beast, for not letting me die alone in the woods."
You're welcome.
At this point, I think it's important to bring up the 1997 midquel, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. This movie takes place sometime in between the wolf attack and Belle and Beast's romantic dancing dinner date. This movie further shows Belle's condition as she has continued to be treated poorly by the Beast, even though in the original movie, he is seen being somewhat nicer to her after the wolf attack. They put extra emphasis on Belle being a prisoner who has to tiptoe around the Beast to avoid his abusive temper. All in all, Belle follows the traditional path of a prisoner who develops Stockholm Syndrome. First, she gives into captivity for fear of pain or death. Then she gets to know her captor as a survival tactic so she can avoid setting him off. For example, she never goes back to the West Wing again after the Beast finds her in there, and she starts obliging his request to eat with him so that she doesn't starve, and to not make him mad. Next, she regards any lack of abuse from the Beast as kindness. This is especially prominent when she finally makes it back to town and describes the Beast to Gaston as kind and gentle, even though moments ago he tried to throw a boulder-sized snowball at her. That definitely would have broken her neck. And finally, she starts to think of her captor as a friend and her rescuer as an enemy. Gaston and the townspeople are rightfully fearful that something terrible will happen to Belle if she continues to stay with the Beast, but Belle now sees them as a threat to her beloved Beast and attempts to save him from Gaston. So, does Belle fall in love with an abusive man? Is this Stockholm Syndrome? We say yes, but what do you think? Is there another way to view the situation? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Remember, it's just a theory, so we definitely want to hear your opinion on whether or not Belle has Stockholm Syndrome. If you enjoyed seeing me on Cartoon Conspiracy, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Also remember to subscribe so you never miss an episode of Cartoon Conspiracy, and we'll see you real soon. Bye!